I'm Eddie with Vinyl Buzz, and I'm here with Dia Frampton from Megan Dia, and also The Voice. She recently released her solo album titled Red. What question do you hate being asked in interviews?
You know, there's not a lot of questions that I really hate being asked a lot, but I feel like I've been doing a lot of interviews lately and they've all been the same questions. How's life after The Voice? And what was it like to work with Blake Shelton and things like that? But I also understand why people ask that question. It's a very obvious question to ask, and it's quite, it is a good one. I'm sure that's what most people would like to know. But after answering it sometimes like 5 times a day with different interviewers or different papers, it's a little monotonous for me. But if you're the first one reading it, I'm sure it's not.
I guess I'm gonna have to come up with new questions.
I can answer those questions.
No, I'm just kidding. Alright, how does the response of the new album differ from what you expected?
I think it's been a pretty good response, and I was a little bit scared because, especially coming off a reality TV show, there does seem to be kind of a formula of the albums and the type of songs and records that they put out, and I was very hands-on in the writing process and constantly writing, constantly very hands-on with the record, and Universal, the label, would send me a couple songs and say, I think you would be great on these songs. And I'm more of a songwriter. I like to write my own stuff, and they were actually really supportive, but it's their job to do that. And I would go back to them and I'd say, yeah, those songs are great, but if you are looking for an acoustic song, then I have about 10 that I've written, and then flood their email with those. So I was very proactive with the album process. You got to keep a good relationship with them, and Universal was actually really, really supportive with all of my decisions and which songs I liked and which songs I didn't like. And even at the end of the day, I'd write a song and send it to them, and then they'd like it, and a week later I'd say, I don't like that song I wrote. It's
What song are you the most proud of off the album?
I think lyrically I'm really proud of Trapeze, because that meant a lot to me lyrically, and it's also one of those songs where a month from now, and I feel like a year from now, 5 years from now, I'll still listen to it and say, those are really nice, well done lyrics. And it's hard for me to praise myself, but I think to me, and knowing my skill range and what I can do, I'm really proud of them.
What's your favorite cover to play?
Yeah, how could you be so heartless? How could you be so cold as a winter wind when it breathes you? Just remember that you were talking to me, though. Need to watch the way it's talking to me, yeah.
I love playing covers, but right now we do a CCR cover, Bad Moon Rising, which is really, really fun. And I like to cover songs that are a little bit obscure. I am half Korean, and one of my cousins who lives in Seoul thought it'd be really cool to do a Girls' Generation song or some kind of K-pop song. I don't know if you've heard K-pop.
I haven't.
It's very... I can't even describe it. It's almost like a modern-day Korean Spice Girls, Pussycat Dolls, really poppy. They kind of have dancers and a big show, and really fun, actually.
I have Korean cousins, though.
Yeah, I'm
If
sure
that
they know
counts.
them. Girls' Generation's huge over in Korea, and it's a fun type of music and a kind of dancey, upbeat type of music, and it was hard to do, and I was trying to do it the other day to send to my cousin over there, but I'm still working on it.
How long till you get that perfected, do you think?
Probably a couple more days. It's hard to sometimes
You should
dance
post
music
that
is
once
hard.
you get that.
I think I will.
Probably do that. If you could tour with like any band from the 90s, bring them back to life or bring them back from wherever they are, who would it be?
Okay, my viewpoint on time is really bad, so I'll probably name like a 70s band right now.
Hey, that makes it all the better.
I'd really like to go out with REM. They were pretty big in the 90s, and they're still awesome. And I did their song on The Voice. I am obviously a big REM fan.
So that'd be it?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yep.
Alright. What's the craziest thing a fan has done?
I think fans have done a lot of crazy things, and lots of them are really good and really sweet, and some of them kind of overstep the bounds. Ooh, I've gotten letters sent to my parents' house, and I just absolutely do not know how they got the address, and that's a little weird to me. I don't like my family being involved in anything, and you know, I have my little sisters, and I just got, that was really creepy to me. And my mom's such a sweet person. She's this little Korean woman. She's like, oh my goodness, you got some letters from some fans, and they're at our house. And I said, how did they get there? Did you open them? Don't open them, because that's kind of, I'm just really
how did
paranoid.
They get your address?
I have no idea, and I'm sure maybe they're a really sweet card, you know, from a really nice person, but I didn't open them. I told my mom to throw them away.
Really? You've never opened any of them?
I'm really paranoid. I think, like, there's anthrax in them, or there's something weird. Or
that would be me.
I don't know. Somebody that goes and gets my parents' address is really just, it's weird, you know. And I don't have anywhere for them to send stuff because I don't have an apartment, so I guess I understand that aspect. But it just kind of creeped me out a little bit.
Would it be creepier than them finding you on tour and giving it to you?
No, actually, there's lots of people who come while we're on tour and say hi, and you know, somebody brought us Swedish fish the other day, and a girl in Massachusetts brought us vegan red velvet cupcakes. So
Nice.
a couple of us in the band are vegan. I am sometimes.
Just sometimes?
Just sometimes. I had pizza yesterday. It's really good. But
What kind of pizza?
it was artichoke. It's like dairy's worst nightmare, though, or vegan's worst nightmare. Dairy lives, but yeah. So they just brought us vegan cupcakes and just really sweet things like that. And actually, I was thinking about it the other day because I was eating this cupcake and I was thinking it's kind of weird because what did they put in this? You know, I could be in the bathroom for like 7 hours, or I could be dead. But the girl looked so sweet, and so I just thought, you know, you're a sweetheart. I'm gonna eat these cupcakes.
You worry about a lot of things to me.
I'm extremely paranoid. I am extremely paranoid with everything. I'll tell you flat out right now, in an unhealthy way. I went and took gun training, which is really weird for somebody like me, but I'm just so scared of somebody coming in my house in the middle of the night. And lots of the times I'm with my younger sisters, and I don't want to be the sister that's just like, well, I guess I'll use my curling iron, hope it heats up real fast, you know. I want to be able to definitely defend myself and defend my family, and I'm very pro for that.
No, that's awesome,
Weapons.
though. Be aware. Be proactive, you know. We got all the general, you know, everyday questions out of the way, so we're going to give you some gifts. Vinyl Buzz always comes bearing gifts. So...
Are they red velvet cupcakes?
What do we got here? What?
Nothing.
Yeah, actually. I know you're a Tom Petty fan, so...
Oh,
Got
yeah. Oh, thank you. I love this
Damn
Valentines.
torpedoes.
I was supposed to have a good Valentine's, but I had a terrible one.
You had a terrible Valentine's Day today?
I know.
How?
Well, I thought somebody was going to come visit me.
But he didn't?
No. So I was sitting in the bus yesterday at like midnight with makeup on, well, half makeup. And then I was just like, I'm not putting on makeup. I went to bed.
How could you do that to her?
Did you do that?
There's
Oh, that's
Gavin
awesome. I
Rowe.
love Tom Petty. That's awesome.
Do you like either of these records?
Yeah, I do. I have this one.
Really?
I have 2 of these.
Do you collect vinyl at all?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
I have a vinyl, a record player from like the 1950s, I think. My friend got it for me.
Like one of
My
the like
ex-boyfriend got it for me.
spin ones?
Yeah, it's really old, and he actually bought it for me, and it was broken. And he said, it's going to take a lot of maintenance, but I got it for you, and, you know, here it is. And so I kind of had it around, but it didn't play. And then it needed some kind of tube, I think, some kind of little thing.
Little thing.
And I don't know mechanics
Little
very well.
things.
And it took forever because it was popular in the 1950s, so we couldn't find that one part, and we had to look everywhere, and finally we found it, and now it works. But it sounds really old and fuzzy, but I really like that, actually.
What was the first record that you ever purchased? You remember that far back?
I think, actually, the first record, because my dad had a lot of records, so I took a lot of his. But the
What's
first
the way?
record, I Am Lovin' You by the Avett Brothers, or the Avett Brothers, however you want to say it. I've killed that album, listened to it so many times. I think I've bought that. I got that record for my friend. I've purchased that record maybe 5 times in my life already. I have probably 12 in total TP records right now. And I got Modest Mouse, which I really enjoy. And I got The Shins, which I really enjoy.
You gonna
And,
get the new album?
Yes,
For
I
tomorrow?
am. Yes, I am. A producer that I got to work with on my album Red, he did a song with them, and so whenever I'd go in the studio and work with him, I was kind of always like, because I knew he was working with the Shins and he'd been working with them for months, so I was literally like fangirl, like just waiting for them to come in and say, oh, I forgot my cell phone, or I'd see like a half drink bottle of water and I'd be like, they're really cool.
We also, I had to. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, awesome!
Just cause there's no relation, but
I saw him in St. George, Utah, where I live, at Tucon Theater.
When was that?
It was maybe a year ago. My perception of time, I tell you. But you want to hear something really funny that I heard yesterday?
I do.
So my name is Dia. My sister's name is Meg.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope I get this right. I know half of it's right. So Peter Frampton, people always ask me if I'm Peter Frampton's daughter. My youngest sister's name, or younger, she's 18, her name's Jade Frampton. Peter Frampton actually does have a daughter who edits or works, I don't know what exactly she does, for Elle magazine. And her name's Jade Frampton. So he has a daughter named Jade Frampton. I have a sister
Is that a
named
coincidence?
Jade Frampton. I don't know. And then I can't remember if it's his wife or his other daughter is named Mia. So Meg, Tia, Mia. It's just a weird
that's
coincidence
pretty strange.
there.
It's Valentine's Day. What would you? I saw you got like all these like chocolates from your fans.
No,
and all this,
actually that was not from my fans.
Really?
My manager texted me and said, "Oh my gosh, you're selling all those chocolates," and I said, "Oh, I saw them these were on a display table at the store." And now that's what everybody, because I was whining about being single and lonely on Valentine's Day and like sending out tweets, and then the next day I post that picture and people are like, "What the heck? You're such a baby. You have all those chocolates." And I wanted to be like, I was in a store. I took pictures of me in the store with like the display.
You made it look like you had all these fans. Hey, maybe they just couldn't find your address. Maybe they're at your parents' house.
Maybe they are at my parents' house in like my bedroom under my bed.
But so if you could choose though today between a box of chocolates or a case of Cliff Bars, what would you choose?
Definitely a case of Cliff Bars.
Cliff Bars? Oh yeah. And you're in luck.
Oh, thank you. That's so awesome. I like the peanut butter. I'm a peanut butter person.
Peanut butter's not bad.
It's not bad at all. For vegans, that's pretty much how they flavor everything. So
really? I wondered how they flavored
all desserts
everything.
is like very heavily based.
There's a lot of mystery to vegans.
Yeah, it's not healthier, especially when you're someone like me and you end up eating bread and Starburst all day.
I know you like complain about being single and lonely on Valentine's Day, but how many times on tour have you been asked out?
Maybe once.
For real?
Yeah. Like, are you talking about seriously asked out? I've had guys come up to be like, "Will you marry me?" and just kind of be drunk and silly, or we're taking pictures at a meet and greet. They're just like, "I want to marry you someday," and that but somebody actually coming up and saying, "Hey, I'd really like to go out sometime. Do you want to get a drink or something?" I don't think that's ever happened. Maybe once, but I still can't even think of a particular moment at all.
Oh, bummer. I was hoping it was like some crazy amount with like some crazy stories.
The last few dates I've gone out on, I've asked the boy, which actually I decided I don't want to do anymore. I haven't. I mean, that was before tour and before a lot of things. But I lived in New York for a little while before The Voice. I was working at Crumbs Cupcakes in New York, and I asked quite a few guys out, which is really funny. Lots of them rejected me though. Seriously, lots of them rejected me. But it was really interesting to see how many of them started texting me again when they saw me on The Voice, which is kind of a bum out.
Yeah, that's a big bum out.
I was like, this is really obvious.
It's not cool, guys.
It's not cool.
That's not how you win her heart.